So you can press JK to go up and down. You could press like GG to go to the first one, uppercase, G to go to the last one. You could press like DD to delete, or you can select, you can DK to select the current in the top, U to undo. Here, yeah, exactly. I have like Vim in my, select stuff, delete, add on top.
Man, that is
so in
fast.
the case of Airmail, yes. Now what we can check is,
does it matter what mail client I use? Can I do this with because I use the default Apple mail client. If you're listening to this as a podcast, remember that it was originally recorded as a video. If you're not following along, you can go to my YouTube channel. My username is Linkarzu. And if you want to support me to keep this podcast going, you can donate in Ko-fi. I'm going to leave a link in the description. All right, so let's get started with this chapter then. Hey G, how's it going?
Chris, I'm very good, thank you. How are you? Not sleepy?
Nope. Well, a little bit sleepy. It's 6 a.m. right now, but this is the only time I can actually do this. What about you? What time is it where you're at?
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
So yeah, that's gonna be definitely 6 a.m. wouldn't have worked for me. that's my sleeping time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I'm a late night owl. Work at night usually. So wake up probably when you have lunch.
You wake up really late. Where do you live, by the way? You mind sharing like?
Yeah, so I'm currently based in Macau. So it's not really well known. It's been more known lately, like the Las Vegas of Asia. But do you know Hong Kong? Probably you heard about Hong Kong, right?
I have heard about Hong Kong. Yep.
So it's like right next to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong was a British colony. Macau was a Portuguese colony for like about 400 years, I think. And then so same as Hong Kong, it has been returned to China, but there is a 50 years of self-governance. So this is where I'm based now for like since 2008. So it's been a while. I was traveling for a while, and then I ended up staying here.
Oh, and how did you end up there? Why? If I may ask.
Yeah, I mean, why? It's like a big story, but basically, I wanted to go. I could talk to you for hours about this. I'm going to try to make it short, but like I wanted to go see some places that were very different from where I was coming from, which was France. And then so I traveled through Asia for a bit. And then when I went back to France, like definitely my idea was or I like start studying medicine, or I go try to make a life somewhere else. And then I decided to go back to Asia, basically, and instead of studying more, and I was looking for a kind of stable place, because like Asia, there's a lot of like beautiful, nice places to go, but there's also a lot of crazy places. Like Bangkok, for example, is at least to my feeling, it would have been a very bad place to try to settle down. So I was looking for stable places, and that was at the time Singapore, Hong Kong, or Macau. And then I got a job here first, and then that was it. Yeah, I found a job in like a local university that was kind of 5 or 6 years old, and they needed someone to set up or to create a university management system. And when I was traveling, I like built a blog from scratch to try to learn how to do like web development. And then they ended up like needed someone who knew how to deal with like PHP, MySQL, and those stuff. So like very lucky. So like very, very lucky, because you're not supposed to like to be able to stay. You need a blue card, like you need a working permit, and then you can't. It's more like they're supposed to hire you from outside and then do all the papers. But I was already there, like as a tourist, and then like trying to look for a job, but as a tourist, and like just right place, right time. They needed someone at the time, and then I ended up working for them for some years. Like
Oh.
basically, so I was telling you because now I have like a permanent residency, but you need to stay. Yeah, you need to work for like 7 years, basically.
Mm.
Like there's some other rules, but so I worked from 2008 to 2015, and then I quit. And then since 2015, so once I got the permanent residency, I set up a company here, and then I'm free since then.
Oh, so you're French then, right? And now
I'm
you're
French, originally from France. Yeah.
living permanently there now. Okay.
Mm.
And
Well, I have the permanent residency, but usually I stay here like half a year. I like the summer. I don't like the winter. So usually winter I go like more south. So like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. Like I'm very bad with the cold. So I need my at least 22 degrees, else I'm freezing.
Oh, okay.
So
22 degrees, yeah. I'm 30 degrees
so
here normally, which is really hot, you know.
it's perfect. For me, that's like now currently we're about the same, 32, 35, and it's
But that's too much.
tropical.
Yeah,
But
too
I
tropical.
love for me it's because I every day I'm like swimming in the sea, and I'm like it's just
living the life.
It's very good. No complaint. So
And you said that you started your company. Is your company related to what we're looking at today?
To be honest, like I set up the company to wire any kind of money like through. So the company handle like I think like 15 years ago I was doing some music, so I have like some royalties coming just through that company. The company is set up as an IT company, and I was doing maybe for the first 5 years like some consulting, but it was like 2 hours a month or something. It was like kind of ridiculous. And now the same, like the sales of the apps, the money goes through the company. And like I have also like currently a local client also doing consulting, but it's like this month was like 3 hours, last month maybe 2 hours. So it's not very. Sometimes it's more, but I try to avoid as much as possible. That kind of I'm not a big. It's just like good people, good friends, but the work is pretty bad. It's like very. They like to control, like you can't use your own machine, you can't connect to the web, you can't. So like it's pretty nightmarish. But yeah, the company is just like you. If you want to, there are several ways here at least to receive money, and one would be like being a freelance. Being like declared as a freelance, but like a company is much easier. It's very easy to set up. It's very easy to declare your taxes here. It's very well done. Like you do it online. Honestly, it takes like, if I'm saying like 5 minutes, I'm kind of lying, because it's probably like 1 minute and a half.
But
very, very simple.
That's everyone's dream, I think. I don't want to work for a company my entire life. I would like to do something on my own. So can you live off of a company that you build? Like, this is just to help other people that have the same question, you know? Like where does your money come from? Well, I don't want bank statements. I don't want to get too personal or dig into your finance, but how can you do it? Like, can you live off of software that you develop? That's my question.
Yeah, no, but it's a good, like, we can talk about this because I'm definitely not a good example, because I think you could, like, especially if you check nowadays, you know, like all those, what they call like the vibe coders or stuff. Like, it depends what kind of the goal you have, for sure. And if your goal is to make money, I'm sure there's like plenty of opportunities. It seems like if you write some AI rappers, and then you open 10 TikTok accounts, and then you blast every day with like things come, like money come, like you I don't know if you saw like the numbers of like people who do like the calories AI or astrology AI and stuff. people buy those stuff. So if you want to make money, I think it's quite possible. But in my case, because I made money from, so like there's a bunch of, like I was telling you, the company, there's royalties from music, there's some like investment, and then also I when I came here, there was like something in Macau, like it was booming, and then there was something with there was a change in the law where in the past you were able to borrow 90% from the bank if you wanted to buy a house or apartment, and they changed this to 70%. So it was like very clear that you better buy. So I just gambled my money basically buying 2 apartments, and I made a big chunk of money from this. So like to tell you, like currently the apps, they bring like between like 700 and 1,000 US a month. So it's like peanuts. And I've been working on that for 5 years, like every day. So it's a very bad, business-wise, it's very, very bad. Now the thing is, because of like the apartment and all this stuff, and like I have now I used to be married, but like now I'm single, but no kids. So I have like basically very little responsibilities towards other people. So what my point is, like, once you're okay with the money, what do you want? And for me, it's like self-expression, and I want every day to work on stuff that I like to work. I like to build stuff, and I want to do stuff that, like, how to say, like, I want to express myself. I want to have fun, like building my thing. I don't want to have to do something because I have to, because my boss needs this, because the company. So, it's a kind of trade. Like, how do you call this? Like, you have to make a choice basically between one or the other. And I'm like 44, so I'm not like 20, right? I want to spend my time properly. So if I didn't have any money, sure, like I would do more consulting. The consulting is like 3 hours of consulting. It brings me as much money as what I do with the apps. So it's much better. But so I'm sure you can definitely get a company and get. It depends what you're ready to do. Like I know for me, like for example, do kind of following some trends that I don't have interest in, and like this thing of like social, like opening like TikTok account and making like some video that is, because if it doesn't work out, I know like probably you're not going to do one project and it's going to work, right? Maybe you have to do like 10 projects, but every project that fails somehow, if you don't enjoy the process, I think it's very painful, especially again, like at my age. If I'm 20, sure, you can
experiment
have fun around, but
yep.
Yeah, and when you don't have the money, sure, you have to do it. But like in my case, I just don't. It's like every day that I work on my apps, even if it's just cleaning a little bit of code, even if it's like learning a little bit more about Swift and realizing like I can do something better, it's like a win. So it's very hard to not do this basically. But maybe I'll tell you again in 5 years when I'm running out of money, we can do another we can do an update.
And you mentioned royalties. Like, so are you a musician or something? You want to share that?
I used to play. So I think I was saying before, I like to just I like to create things, and I like to like self-expression. You create something that is what you think at the moment, or your values, or what you feel, and then you put it outside. So when I arrived in Macau, I was playing in like 2 bands with some like local people and some people from Hong Kong and stuff. And then we recorded, like released albums, tour, and blah blah blah. So
so you're a rock star. What genre was it?
I was one of the band was like post rock.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do
the
you
other
play?
one was,
let me guess, the guitar.
In that one I was playing guitar and like keyboards, like you I can see behind.
Yeah, a guitar. Everyone, no, well, not everyone, but a lot of people that do software and all that stuff. I don't do software, but a lot of people that is into this tech type of stuff, like music. I don't know why, but a lot of people that I have talked to, a lot of them like music. They were musicians in the past. I don't know what the connection is there, but there's a connection, definitely.
Like for me, like definitely the development is an art form. I see this as pieces of art, which is why like I mean I will talk more about the apps later, but yeah, for me the origin is the same. Like it's just creating something. Like I don't know. So if you haven't tried like the apps, you can see later. But like the first app, if you the license system is if you use it between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m., I think it insults you from the menu bar.
Insults
And
you?
yeah, it insults you. It's like like something like what the like human rights, like blah, blah. It's just like kind of lightly, but still it's like scolding you from the menu bar. And the reason it's why from 5 to 1 is because when I was developing it, or when I was the first 2 years that I spent actually that's linked to what you were asking me about the business. Like the first 2 years that I've spent, I had no idea if that was possible with Apple's APIs. It's just like I wanted to do something for myself to use, and then maybe after 2 months I was like, it seems it's kind of possible maybe to do this. And then the next 2 years is just like building something for myself, and up to the point to realize like, oh wait, maybe that's quite good what we can do with like the screws and bolts and stuff that Apple give us. So maybe there's even a way to like sell this. And during those 2 years, I was working until 5 in the morning, and I would waking up at 1 p.m. So that's why the app sleeps. Like you can't use it during that time if you don't like get a license. And then if you try, it's like scolding you because you're waking the app, you're waking the app up or something like this.
Oh.
So it's just fun. You know, it's like pure self-expression and playing around. And people told me, like I have even on the GitHub repository, I have like people like who told me like they will never buy this app because it's like
insulting.
Yeah, I forgot the term that they use. It's still there. I didn't close the thing because I thought it was very funny, like to tell me I'll never buy your app because it's demented. I forgot like the term they use, like or perverted. I think it was this perverted or something like this. This is very
Yeah.
this is very fun. This is the point. This is just the point. So have your fun, and like if you start removing this again, what's the point? You know, like
that's your essence. If you need, right? You build a little bit of you.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like if you need the money, go with what is gonna sell the most. But if not, just like put yourself in there. So it's like pieces of, for me, it's like an art piece. So it's very close to music, definitely. I don't see this as a job. I don't see this as even like the way the code is written is the only comments I have are like stuff I had to do because of Apple's bugs and stuff. So like you write the feedback report and you explain, because if you read the code later, you're gonna be like, why there's a easier way to do this. And then if you try to do it, you're gonna maybe realize it breaks on some like weird setting or something. So the code is only there to remind you, the reason why you did this is because of that bug in macOS. All the rest of the code is like prose. Is you write it exactly the way you want. So like you can write beautiful variable name. Like for me, it's very, very purely creativity. So you sure you have rules like from the compiler and stuff, but all the rest is like, how do you want to define your stuff is up to you. It's really fun. Yeah.
And I want to talk about Apple development and all that stuff, because I do have some questions there. But before, I just want to know about your band a little bit more. Like, is it something that people can find online? Do you have videos on YouTube? Is it in Spotify or?
I think both. I think both of the bands. Yeah. One is called like WhyOceans.
Let's see. Let me search. I'm just gonna switch to my screen right now. WhyOceans, right?
Yeah. Maybe you need to type WhyOceans Macau. I don't know.
MC.
So why? No, why? Like porque. No,
Okay.
Why? Yeah, correct. In one word, maybe. Yeah, that's the new. I mean, it's in one word, but it should still show up. But try in one word.
Let's see. WhyOceans.
Yeah. So that first picture is the album I was it's like composing that album. So that's, I don't know, 2010 maybe.
Oh.
And then we do have some at least live recording. Then now they have new band members and.
So you're not playing in that band anymore, right? You played there for a little while.
Yeah, like I think 4 or 5 years.
And what happened?
Well, I'm not even there. Like go down a little bit. I thought there was a picture.
They removed
that's
them.
me here.
Oh, this is this one.
And then the other one. That was my home.
Which one?
And, there's another one up left. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's just
didn't work out.
It became so like that band was like 6 people. So like to try to organize 6 people is kind of a pain, and then travel because you're like a small band. You carry all your stuff around, and it's just got tired. Yeah, and like to organize, like I'm someone who's I'm very protective of my time. So if we say we rehearse at 9 p.m. I mean, it's 9 p.m., right? If you show up at 10:30, that's like totally unacceptable to me. So, and then for some other people, it's more like rock and
chill,
roll.
Bro.
So, yeah, so of course, and like again, 6 people, it's a bit tricky. And then I was also, that was the first few years I was there. So, like there's some part of the, like to get the printing, there's some parts you have to deal with China basically. And I spoke like the local Macau, what they talk here, which is Cantonese, but I didn't speak Mandarin. So some of the local, they're responsible for talking with the Chinese counterpart, and they wouldn't do it. I mean, it was just a little bit after like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it was enough. Then I had to go to the next thing. Yeah, and like, because so if I was like talented, then I would keep doing, like just for example, if I was able to sing properly, I would still do like acoustic guitar with singing, but I sing like shit. So I just.
And what's the other band?
The other band was it was kind of a dark pop rock. It was called Forget the G, like G, like my name, but that wasn't.
That was not the goal.
Yeah, it was. That one was. It was way like the main guy. Yeah, Forget the G.
This one.
So they were like. I was like more supporting. So it's the 3 of them, and then I joined for a bit, and it was more like we had a lot of kind of one-time art projects for like Fringe Festival that sometimes would include even video and theater and stuff. And that one was 9 p.m. You show up at 9:05. You have to buy the drinks. So that was very good to work with the main guy,
more
Eric.
Organized, bit more organized.
Yeah. More, I think the main guy, so it's called Eric, and he was also very picky with his time. Very good singer, like a good guitar. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, you're not, you don't play with them anymore, right?
No, he's from Hong Kong. He's in Taiwan now. So I haven't seen. We keep in touch sometimes, but I haven't seen him for a big bunch of years.
Time. Okay. Now, just to provide a little bit more context, because people is gonna watch this video and are gonna be like, so what we're just gonna hear these two guys talk about bands, music. Like, what is this video about? No,
Sorry,
but it's
guys.
great. It's awesome. I'm just gonna provide a little bit more context for people watching the video. So G is the creator of 3 different applications. kindaVim is this one, which people have brought up to my Discord, actually. I remember someone bring it up in Discord. I don't remember who exactly. The other application is Wooshy and Scrolla, right? So that's actually what we're going to be doing today, talking about the applications, demoing the applications, see how they work and all that stuff. And how did you find my channel, by the way?
Somebody posted something on Reddit, and there was so I don't know if it's you. No, I don't think it was you. Do you use Reddit?
I use Reddit. Yep, I use Reddit.
I think someone posted something like 2 months ago. I just saw it, and then there was there was the chapters of your video with Theena. I think, if I'm not wrong, yeah. And there's a chapter and stuff, and there was something about like kindaVim, and somebody pointed, one of the subscribers pointed like, "Hey, they're talking about kindaVim in the video." I was like, "Oh, how funny!" And then so I just checked. Actually, I'm not sure you guys talked about it.
He demoed it. He demoed it a little bit.
Oh shit! Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, and then so then I just posted on your channel, like, yeah, dev, because it's always fun to talk with people. Especially, I'm very because this is my main thing, and those are like my little pieces of art, and what I sell maybe a little bit more is like people can talk to me like daily. Like if they email me something, they get an answer the same day. So whether it's like questions, issues, or whatever. So this is like it's good. I think people like to have like the developer is very approachable. So yeah, I just posted on your
on the
YouTube
video.
channel.
Yeah,
that video. Yeah, and then that's it. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
This is a long video. It's actually a pretty good video. If you're a writer or if there's someone watching this that writes, man, this is a work of art, like you said, because Theena shares a lot of information about a lot of stuff. Why he moved from Neovim to Emacs and how he uses. Well, it's a huge video. Was not that popular. I don't know why, because man, it's actually pretty good. What's your editor, by the way? I guess Xcode due to the Apple.
Yeah, I use Xcode to develop the apps, but when I have to do other stuff, I use Sublime Text. Yeah, I like independent developers, and then I also I'm not multitask kind of person like you. So like the multi-monitor and stuff is not for me. So I like to use like simple stuff from usually individual developers. So I've been using Alfred for like ages. I didn't switch to Raycast and stuff. I did try, have a look, but I stick with the stuff. And then Sublime, I've been using it for like also, I don't know, a decade or something. And there's another one that I like from a Japanese guy, Cut Editor, and I like it because it's. I mean, the guy is like also he's developing it open source for free. I mean, that's not the reason. I think you should charge for it, but it's like fully updated. The guy is using like always the latest technology and stuff, and it's accessible, which is necessary for kindaVim and like even the other apps to be able to do like for my apps to do the work that they need to do. So it's very good piece of software. Yeah. Or like Cut Editor. Yeah.
Cut Editor.
I use it sometimes.
Were you ever interested? Because there's like, I don't know if I don't think it's the underground world. It's pretty mainstream right now. There's we could say, war between the two main editors, right? Which is Neovim and Emacs. Have you ever played around with any of those? No.
Yeah, I mean, Neovim, I know, of course, because like I've never used it myself, although I think I tried because like also customers of kindaVim usually use Neovim and then they talk about the plugins and blah, 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 blah. Emacs I've never tried, but I know like the macOS shortcuts come from Emacs, right? So like if you want to go to, I don't know, at the end of a line, it's like Control E or something like this. So they have both their system of how to move around. It's just like Vim for me was it's just like the motions, to learn, because like when you're coding, especially, it's just how my brain is wired in a lot of ways. Like I think something and it has to happen very quickly on the computer. And when you're in your code editor, like if you like, you don't want to use the mouse. You never want to go click or highlight somewhere. And Vim, like once you learn the motion, it's just so good. At least for me, like
So
very.
it's kindaVim is the name of the app. I thought that you were gonna be like a huge Vim user. So your Vim motions, you fell in love with the
correct.
motions, right?
More, yes, definitely.
Okay.
It's very funny because people tell me this. Like usually they would tell me, also like Vim by heart, and I'm like fuck no. Like I basically what I know very well is the macOS accessibility framework and like the bugs that are around this. But Vim itself, even like I never touch a Vim config because I'm again like I'm someone who's I like a balance between like being efficient and comfortable and having my fun, but also not being locked into something. So if I have my own, like if I remap everything, but then I SSH to a server where my config is not there, then I'm lost. So I don't want this. I just decided, you know what, I'm going to use Vim the way it is, US keyboard, and that's it. Like I don't want to like make a setup that is gonna get lost as soon as I
switch to other
SSH.
keyboard.
Yeah, or like SSH to another computer or something. So there's still many emotions that I don't know. There's a lot of like, which is fine. I mean, you have to, right? You have to pick your battles. Like, so in my case, I even for like so kindaVim, all the moves, let's say depending on what your goal is, there's definitely way easier and faster way to not really achieve what kindaVim does, because like we'll talk about it. It's there's nothing that is doing what it does, but like you can load a Neovim or like whatever, something in the background, and then push the data and get back. And there's easier way to do if you purely want I guess like a full Vim environment and blah blah blah. But in my case, I wanted to learn, so like I will learn a bunch of stuff like macOS development, Swift, and I wanted to learn more about Vim, like all the moves. What am I missing? Like you wouldn't believe it. Like if you use Vim, like you use a move and it's like smooth and stuff. And when you start, so in my case, like developing the move, you realize all the edge cases, all the it's not as straightforward. And there's a lot of rules that apply, like you think that move does this, but it does this in 90% of the cases. But like in 10% of the cases, it depends on this and that. It's like a lot of stuff that I find it nice to know.
And
I think it's fucking useless, but I like it.
and
like no, it's like when when customers tell me about something, like I have like quick answer. I know because I have the knowledge of all that stuff behind. So it's to me it's I like this.
and how compatible are you with Vim? Like if a power Vim user comes to your app, they're gonna be like, man, this is not doing this. Like, I don't know, something, because there's people that use Vim a lot. I don't. I know the basics about Vim, Neovim. I don't know about it too much. But how compatible is it with Vim motions?
I don't know.
But if you get a
Okay,
request,
but no, I'll show you. Like, there's a list. Yeah, we're gonna need to talk more deeply about this. But on the docs, there's a list of which moves have been implemented, and when the move is implemented, usually it's like a 100% what Vim does. But maybe there's moves that you can't even implement. That could be possible. I'm not sure if that already happened. If I found like some move, and there's some move that are going to work, so it's a bit more complicated than this, because you need to get correct accessibility data to be able to calculate where to put the caret, what to delete, and all those stuff. And some apps don't provide you with this, so you have to find some other ways, and some provide with only half of the data. And so the kind of the job of kindaVim is to, for the end user, they think it works the same as Vim, but behind the scenes, kindaVim is doing a whole bunch of stuff to smoothen, you don't, the user can't see all the shit that, it works, but actually there's a lot of case like, that app is returning wrong data, so we have to find a way to, like, all those kind of stuff. But most of the time, it's just works, to be honest. Like, yeah, no, it's very close. It has to. That's the thing. It has to be close to Vim, because if you break people's expectations, then like very quickly you're like,
especially Vim users, which are very delicate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
I got lucky also, because I was using it, building it, right? So I'm in Xcode building Vim, and I'm like kindaVim, and I'm using what I'm building to build it. So as soon as, and I'm someone like this also, if my expectation is broken, I'm like, it breaks my flow, which I don't like it. Like, it's very,
you just stop using it. Yep.
Yeah, the friction and it is a big reason of why I built it.
Now, Theena used it, right? Theena uses kindaVim, so that tells everyone watching this that it's approved by experienced Neovim users. Because Theena talked in the NeovimConf 2 times or 3 times, I think. So he's a pretty advanced, he was a pretty advanced Neovim user. He moved to Emacs now, but if he uses kindaVim and approves it, man, what else? What else can we? But we're gonna see it in the demo. We're gonna put it to the test. Now, I'm not too demanding, I just like my basic stuff. I don't know what the app is about, so this is gonna be new to me, to be honest with you. But before we jump into the demo, I wanted to ask you a few other things. You talked about Apple, right? So you have been developing for Apple for quite some time. I do hear, I don't know, in comments and in conversations, that it is not quite nice because of API changes. Would you mind sharing a bit about that with us? Like, how is that with Apple?
I mean, it's. I need to try to be fair, because I did some work for Windows before, and then I switched to using a Mac maybe like 10 years ago, but like no development. And then when I started developing, so when I started digging into what I can do with macOS, I loved it. Like, I found like so what I was telling you earlier, like the screws and bolts and stuff that Apple gives you to build whatever you want, is just like fantastic. It's fun, and it's like a plenty. That's why I think you see also a lot of different apps, and like what people used to love the Mac. Like, you have like a whole bunch of beautiful apps doing kind of whatever is you want to do, because like that the tools that Apple were giving you was like super nice. But yeah, my feeling over the maybe last 2 years, maybe, I don't know. As a user, I kind of like it less and less, to be honest. Like macOS, and then the development also is like now I'm trying to rewrite the thing with like the new Swift. So like Swift is the language that you use now to build for the macOS, for the Apple platforms. And they came up with Swift 6, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago, and like they're kind of not forcing, but they're pushing like people to use it, but their own APIs, a lot of their own APIs are not even compatible with Swift 6. So like you end up with your stuff not working, your test I find it like very, I don't know if that's what you heard about, like when you're talking about the APIs changing, but it's been quite dirty. So it's like kind of painful on the developer side. And then there's this thing of as a user and also as a developer, that it seems that there's some like cookies trying to unify all the platforms. And then, it makes, in many cases, it just makes no sense. Like even now, the new macOS, like the icons. So we used to have those like beautiful icons on macOS that had like this character, they pop out of they're like, their own, every icon is their own little pieces of art and it's like nice and stuff. And now we're gonna end up with the iPhone squircle kind of thing, which is, a lot of stuff makes no sense. And it happens to me, at least I feel it as a user, but also as a developer. Like you end up with the same APIs for all the platforms that sometimes just don't make sense. And I think, but I'm saying this also like my apps, they're kind of abusing macOS, right? They pretend to be like a screen reader, and they use those APIs to do something else. And so maybe if you're developing like a very basic app, the way Apple wants you to do, an app with the sidebar on the left and the thing on the top, and then like your pictures in the middle and stuff, then maybe you can like build something quite easily and it kind of works. But if you're trying to do something a bit more special, then you're going to have troubles. And I feel it's like more and more. She's kind of, so it's not, I don't really like this because the whole point of the Mac was this, like you can find any kind of app, beautiful, fast and stuff, because like people could, I don't know if it was considered like hack their way around, but you had all those tools all those APIs, those screws and boards where you could build anything you want. Now it's much more.
Do you consider that it's getting more locked down, like Apple ecosystem? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
For
like
you as a developer.
You have to ask permissions for everything. I can't. So like this now, you need, if you want your apps on the App Store, you need to get them like sandbox so that you can't access like other apps data, which for me I need to, like, so I can't have, I would definitely pay them like 30% for them to take care of like the license and the payment and all those shit that I really don't care about and that I still had to build. I would give them this, but they refuse to accept like any app that is not sandbox on the App Store. So that remove a lot of apps, and then you have to ask permission now, like even as a user, right? Now you like, allow, sure, okay, accept for one day. What the hell?
And is it for security reasons that they do that, or?
I don't know. It's like they're privacy centric kind of. I'm not sure. Like, to be honest, I don't really. I understand the privacy thing, but like you need a balance, right? If it ends up like you want to use something, and every time I don't know, like Safari, I don't know if maybe it's just me. Well, for example, I have an app that scans. So like when PDF arrive in a folder, then it's like squeeze your PDF. Now with like the latest Sequoia, like every time a PDF comes, I have to allow to squeeze. This is ridiculous. Like, what the hell? They're not. Are they using their own system? I don't know. It doesn't look so. Because this is like every time I Google something, yes, take my location for a day. Yes, it's like, come on, man.
Man, your
I
app
don't
sales
know.
are gonna go down. We should be
It's
praising
just
Apple right now, but
yeah, but like,
we have to be honest. Yeah, and
man, I don't. No, but it's fine. Like if people don't, like I'm saying this. Look, I've spent like 5 years building my stuff on the platform, which I like. I used to. I don't know if I can say still I love it, but the thing is, like, I don't know. Even now, developing it, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep doing this. Maybe one day it's totally possible that like the APIs are gone. Like it's not possible anymore to without a lot of hacks. And and in my case, I want to, you know, it's still like pieces of art and stuff, but there's a standard. Like all my, like I don't write code without having automated tests, because every time I make a release for the users, and especially it's not open source free, right? People pay for it. So the release I released today has to be better than the release from like yesterday. If the release from today breaks and bring regression and stuff, like that's a big problem. So everything is like there. kindaVim has like maybe 7,000 tests. So before I make a release, like it goes through all the tests and like checking that everything works and stuff. And if they make it so painful that one day I can't even, it's just like you have to hack an app for it to work. I can't make I can't charge for it. I can't. And like every time I make a change in my code, I'm gonna be thinking, is it gonna break the rest? How do I know? And it's not possible. It's not fun anymore. So I would, yeah. It's like I'm still going to develop them as much as I can. It's just like the, I don't know, if it's like the where Tim Cook is bringing this, that I feel, a bit less hopeful than before.
And they had pretty good chance, because they had developers on their side. They had them, and developers bring great applications. Great applications bring a lot of customers. That's the reason I'm in macOS, because of the beautiful applications, the useful applications. Even if I have to pay for them, I don't care as long as they do what I want. But like you mentioned, they're, I don't know, creating a barrier for developers. And that's not going to just shy away developers, but a lot of power users, right? So I don't know.
But yeah, especially for the Mac, because I understand people coming from the iPhone, I think the target is kind of different, but maybe at the end, who knows? Like probably I hope for them that they're selling more Macs now. So somehow it's very hard to, it's very like, let's say like they lose a lot of power users, but power users, they end up now being only 20% of their market share. They're gonna be like, they sell more Macs to people who just
use the browser,
go on the web and FaceTime people. Yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. I'm making that. How the fuck? Like, what the fuck do I know? I know nothing, right? It's like I don't know what they're thinking. That if it works for them, it's just for me as a developer. I find it like, it's more and more painful.
Yeah, I hear that.
Still, I'm still going to develop my apps. So don't worry, guys. If you
bad advertisement,
please
man.
Please buy my
bad advertisement for Apple, for your apps, everything.
Yeah.
Now, why macOS? Have you ever considered Linux?
Yeah, I tried like Ubuntu so many years ago. Yeah, good question.
Because I see that happening a lot. Yesterday, I watched a video. I don't know if you know who DHH is. He's the creator of
course.
Yep. So
Ruby on Rails.
Ruby on Rails, yeah. Has his own company. I don't know if companies and all, but he switched to Ubuntu first, and he created a distribution, Omarchy, and he recently released another distro. I don't know if it's distro or what it is, but like, I don't know, a few days ago, Omarchy, I don't know how it's said. And he was talking about that, he lived in Apple for 20 years and he loved Apple. Now he's in Linux and I don't think he's looking back. So
Mm.
I don't know. I've thought about it. And I love the hardware. That's the problem, man. That I'm not going to get hardware as good as these M4 laptops. The battery is just awesome. So I'm not gonna get that outside. Even with the framework laptops, they say that they're
Yeah.
awesome, but the battery is not gonna be the same. I can unplug this thing, go and edit a video for 4 hours, 5 hours, and the battery is gonna be at 80%. Edit, render a video, upload it to YouTube, and it's not gonna even make noise. So that's the problem, the hardware.
Yeah, he talked about the framework. Yeah, like again, because my personal interest is like to build stuff. So the thing that people would complain usually about Apple, I love this, which is like I so I have a Mac Mini at home to do like when I do the implementing, and during the day I take the laptop like a MacBook Air M3 out when I get coffee and like do my research and stuff. And the thing is, and also like experiment with the development. And the thing is, my MacBook can like break. If it break in the afternoon, I go Apple, I buy a new one, and a few hours later, I'm back to doing my development. I love this. I don't want to have to deal with any hardware and upgrade, and like I just don't give a fuck. This is
Yeah.
I'd rather just like
Yeah.
I pay, but at least give me my afternoon working on my stuff. So I saw like the DHH like some weeks or months ago. He was kind of praising the framework laptop,
Mhm.
and he was saying like how you can upgrade and stuff, but like after a month actually, and nothing was working or something. So he just said like this is not good. So he has time to play with this. No, for me, and still like there's still a lot of like using it on a day-to-day basis is like pleasurable.
Mhm.
Like you'll see when I show you my screen later, like the term, like at least for me to so use Alfred, iTerm, my apps. It's just like very pleasurable.
Yeah.
So it looks great. It's fast.
Yeah.
Um,
So you have not thought
uh,
about Linux at all then?
Definitely not anymore. And then like Linux, it was yeah. I mean, probably has changed, but um, again, like this thing of like configuring things, and like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I buy even all the settings in my I think the Mac is like the default
The
settings
default.
almost. Like
Yeah.
I just don't. If I have to build something, yes. If I have to configure stuff to just make them work and things, but maybe it has changed. That's possible. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from your
No, I don't think
your
so.
viewer and stuff. They're gonna say this guy has no fucking idea what he's talking about.
I
Which is
don't think
probably
s-
true.
I don't think so, because I'm kind of in the same way. Well, I have spent countless hours setting up. I have a script that deploys a new Mac, right? So it installs
Mm,
all of my applications through Brew. It modifies all the system settings that I need to modify, like including the hot corners and settings that I want to change, right? So I run the script,
mm,
sets up a Mac, but I did have to spend quite a lot of time to get there. So I can get back to where I want quick if I get a new Mac,
quickly,
which is
yeah.
something that I like. Yeah. But I do get that. Moving away out of all that configuring and it's just use something simple that you can, yeah. I agree and I respect that. Yeah.
And I think for me it's like very quick. Also, maybe because mostly what I do now is is like developing. It's very quick for me to like maybe there's some settings that I would save that I actually don't use anymore. Like it's so like um, printed in my brain. So like I would get a new Mac and then I would press like Command Space, and I feel like Alfred is not showing up. Okay, install Alfred. It would be like very very quick to get back to, but rather than running a script, or it would be like the friction. Yeah, something, and it's just install and then it's okay.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
So and I like it also, like and it doesn't happen often for sure, but like if you have a new laptop and or whatever, and it's like clean, and you install one by one, I like that thing.
Nah, I don't like that. I just want something to install them and I'm done.
I
Yeah.
see that point or so. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the new macOS? Well, depending on when people watch this, if it's 3 years from now, they're gonna be like new macOS 26. What the are these guys talking about? What are your thoughts on macOS 26 and the glassy thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit what I said before. I did install it on my MacBook Air because the Mac Mini always stays on the stable, and this is where I do my releases. But of course, I have to try um, the developer beta, so I install them on my MacBook Air, and like stuff, and in my case, crash. My apps would some stuff don't work. I don't know. I've reported to Apple. I don't know if it's bugs or if like they really changed like in terms of how the system works. But the glassy stuff, yeah, is a little bit. At first, I found it's like not readable, which I don't understand. I felt like what do you guys do? Like the whole point of it's not that it just looks nice, which I was like, this is kind of subjective, right? Does it look nice or not? I find like the new icons that are like a bit shiny on the side. I personally, I don't like it and stuff, but okay, you can still, it's subjective. But the thing that you can't even read is just ridiculous. I'm sorry. To me, at least, that was like, and I didn't install on the phone and stuff because I want to be able to use them every day, or like to use my phone every day. So I just have macOS, but I heard the same from the iOS. Like people couldn't even read their notifications. So it's like when you go down, oh wow, the effect and stuff, but you can't read your notification. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The priorities are like a little bit screwed, and yeah, you have the whole thing over all the platforms. Yeah, but like I don't get it.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
not a big
guys.
fan. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, yeah. The control center, even still, I have it here. I don't think it looks. Yeah, and there's big problems on in terms of like APIs. I hope they're gonna change this. So, like for example, your Wooshy is targeting you can target the menu bar with Wooshy, and now, so I don't know. I hope it's a bug. Like all the icons at the top, they belong to Control Center. Now they don't belong to their own respective apps. So you can't ping them and you can't get their data. It's very strange. I really hope it's a mistake because
Yeah.
else it's another like controlling. So they now it's all owned by Control Center, and when you're asking Control Center, okay, give me the data. Now it just gives the data from the Control Center, not from all the apps that it grabbed. So it's pretty bad.
I use my Mac differently. Just gonna quickly show you, because I don't use their dock, and I don't use their menu bar as well. So I use this
Oh,
custom one created by the community. It's called SketchyBar. So I can have
SketchyBar, yeah.
my battery. If I'm connected to headphones or my AirPods, it's gonna show me. If I have outdated brew packages, it's just gonna tell me there. Useful
Oh,
stuff, right? And I can add whatever I want there and modify it however I want. Colors, icons, doesn't matter, right? So, yeah, I'm not concerned. I was happy that I can hide the menu bar in the new macOS 26 because that's the first thing I will do because I don't use it too much. Now let's get ready a little bit for the demos because I'll have to. Let's see. Hold on.
I must sound very French, like always bitching about stuff.
No, I'm the same way. I'm even worse,
Yeah,
man. My wife tells me that I'm too negative all the time.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm French. No.
possibly.
Yeah, no, but I'm the same way, the exact same way. Yeah, or even worse, I think. Now,
Yeah, it's just been a bit upsetting because like working on this for 5 years and usually I try to I kind of left friends because people are always bitching but not doing anything about and now I found that maybe it's just age.
Yeah, it's age. Yeah. Now I have a question for app developers as well, for Apple developers. I talked to the Trickster guy, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to ask him. Like, I'm a power user and I'm used to managing my config for different apps in my .files, right? And a GitHub repo, I like configuring stuff in text. But all of the applications for macOS, most of them, right, have GUIs and you cannot export the settings. And it's a little bit painful when you move to another computer. You need to reconfigure those apps back. I assume that kindaVim is the exact same way, right? Like GUI.
Yeah.
And is there a reason why? Yeah, I guess Apple people will not go into a configuration file and modify it to change the settings for their app. So I guess, is that why?
No, I guess you could, but like Ghosty, Ghosty TY,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you pronounce
Ghosty.
this.
Yeah.
They're doing this, right? They're having a config file, at least for some of the things. The reason, so there's kind of two things. The reason is like the plist file, the preference file that comes with Apple. It's integrated with their language, not really the language, but their API. So basically, you don't have to do anything. Everything is kind of integrated, so it's like it comes for free. You don't need to bother and stuff. So that's one thing. To do a config file, well, you need to do some work and you need to like sanitize the what people put in their file and stuff. It's kind of quite some work. So at least in my case, it hasn't been a priority. People asked for it. I think it was still in the to-do list. And for Scrolla, I started to develop like custom mapping, which I want to bring to Wooshy and to kindaVim, because especially kindaVim, people are asking for this. And I mean, it's like a little bit more important. And it's like it's a lot of work, man. So that's one thing. And another thing is, I don't know if you know the tool called like Macap. You heard about this?
I have heard about the name, but I don't remember what it is at all.
So like I was using this myself to so it would make like symlinks of your plist files in like your Dropbox and something, and then when you go to a new computer, you make like Macap restore, and then basically like your preference file would stay in Dropbox, and on your machine it would replace the real file by a symlink.
Mm-hmm.
So that would link your preferences all over, like all your Macs, all your Macs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I think is like 2 macOS versions before, Apple like restricted this. So now you cannot use a symlink as a plist. So that's another thing. So when I developed kindaVim, you were able to you couldn't have like a config file, but you could still like have it like synchronize over all your computers. Now it doesn't work anymore. So it was also, I think, security reasons or whatever like Apple came up with.
Yep. You touch a pretty good point there, but I don't think you should worry about that, because the people that want to have the config as a file, they will put it in their .files. They will create the symlink themselves. They already know how to do it. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. So I don't know if you need to keep both options, like the GUI to configure stuff in the config file. I mean,
yeah, no, and there's Wooshy to help you with the config with the keyboard. You will see.
Yeah, let's jump into that. Let's jump into the demo, and you can let us know what it's all about. Because
yep.
have you heard about the alternatives? I want to see what kind of Vim does. And yeah, I'm interested. I'm actually quite interested in seeing.
Sure.
Quick question. Does it allow me to use my email with Vimotions?
Sorry, so again, using your email with emotions? Or like you mean typing an email and stuff? No, what do you mean?
Yeah, like, because in my email, I have to go up with the arrows, right? Or back. And I'm used to doing HJKL to use those as my arrows. So
oh, okay.
let me see what the app is about
surprise,
first.
Surprise.
Yeah. Let me see what the app is about first, because I have no idea. So I'll be switching to your screen when you're ready. I see your screen. Looks awesome.
Perfect. That's not even, that's changing. The background is changing every, I don't know, maybe every 1 hour. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yes. So just to tell you the reason first why I developed this is, so I can show you with Alfred, for example. So it goes back to, I think, what I mentioned before, which is like there's a little friction that like you're working on something and maybe you press a shortcut and you expect it to work and it doesn't work. And the thing with, so one thing is me learning Vim motions and spending a lot of time in the code editor. So actually I can open that now. Why not? So like, this the JK and like GG and like to move around the thing, those habits that I wanted to use everywhere. And the other thing is, so Apple, so on macOS, for example, like you have a list in Alfred, right? Or you use the arrow, which is kind of annoying to go like to move that thing far, right? Or you have something that is a little bit better, which is like Control N and Control P to go up and down. But the problem is exactly this. It works in some places and it doesn't work in some others. So every time you have a list or like a combo box or something, you press, sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it doesn't work. So I wanted to make it like to build something that everywhere I would be able to use the things that I'm used to. So like this is where kindaVim came up with, like why I build this.
So you're pressing J and K there? Yes.
So like I press escape to enter normal mode, and then I can press JK to go up and down. And to answer your question, so this is, for example, emails, right? So
you don't have any sensitive stuff there.
No,
right?
this is spam. Okay. I hope I don't have any. This is the spams. So you can press JK to go up and down. You could press like GG to go to the first one, uppercase, G to go to the last one. You could press like DD to delete, or you can select. You can DK to select the current in the top, U to undo. So you have a bunch of. The idea is that what you used to, you kind of use them when you feel like you should work, and most of the time it should work.
And does it matter what mail client I use? Can I do this with because I use the default Apple mail client?
Yeah, it's going to depend. So I need to show you a little bit more. For example, now we're in Xcode, right? So you see like that little
letter.
I call this character window. Yeah, we can remove this. I've just shown you my license, so I'm gonna have to delete this. So like the character, you can, if you want to see like so like the letter you're typing. You can decide where you want to see it, and then you can also, like, if you prefer like the mode, you're in normal mode. Now you're in like visual small. Now you're the big visual, and then if you start typing some this is operator mode, like CIW is waiting for your next move. Okay, that's just to let you know about this small thing here. And I like to have it like close to the caret. You can have it like in other places. But so the way kindaVim works is like, so now, for example, we're in Xcode, and Xcode is accessible. So I can ask Xcode like, okay, where am I now? I'm in a text area. Okay, what is the text? How long is the text? What part of the text is visible? So there's a whole, but which column? There's a whole bunch of how much is selected, blah blah blah. So when all that data is available and correct, I can basically have 100% accurate Vim motion. Okay, so like I want to go to the next. So like I want to go to the end of the thing. I want to select this or select more. I want to select the paragraph and delete it, which I can't do now because it's locked, the file. So when the data is there, you can do all those things. But there are some cases where, so for example, like I showed you here, right? This is not text. So kindaVim is gonna check what kind of UI element it's dealing with. And so now if I do a DD, if I do a DD here, I'm not gonna delete text. What it's gonna do is gonna remap this to a delete key, right? So there's a whole bunch of X, same thing. So there's a whole bunch of, like what I was telling you before, like how kindaVim is doing like all the heavy lifting, and he's going to say, okay, you ask this, but what does it make sense in this context? Okay, there is no text. Is a cell or is something. Oh, he wants to delete it. Okay, I remap. I do a DD. I remap the key to delete, and this is out of the picture. So there's a bunch of magic all around. So that's why, like, same, like, for example, so if I type something here, right, then I enter Vim mode. If I do H, okay, it's doing HL, it goes back and forward. But if I do J and K, it's going up and down the list because it makes no sense else to have JK in a text field. In a text area, it makes sense to go down the text.
Yeah.
But in the case of text field, it doesn't make sense. So it's transforming this in like, okay, what do you want to do? Oh, you probably want to go down the list. Okay, so it goes down the list.
Man, that's awesome. That's actually
and then
awesome.
you can do that. So like you're in maybe I can show you at least how I use it.
So
yeah.
Typing emails does not suck anymore because I hate it when I have to go to my email client and I have to write an email and I don't have my Vim motions there because I have to go back with the arrows and to delete stuff. I wish I could do V to select stuff, delete it, change words, all that stuff. So can you do that?
In my case, I use airmail. So I can, let me see if does that work? No, yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah. So like here, yeah, exactly. I have like Vim in my, I can select stuff, delete, add on top.
Man, that is
so in
fast.
the case of airmail, yes. Now what we can check is because airmail support the macOS accessibility. So I can do this in airmail. Now there's different apps have different level of support. So this is where you can come to the wizard.
So that was going to be my next questions because I don't want to have this enabled in Ghosty because I already have my Neovim motions there, right? In Neovim.
Exactly. So there is something that we call like the wizard. So good example. So for example, Ghosty, right? You go in Ghosty and like, let's say you okay, so to show you, I'm gonna remove it because he's already here. So like, and then I don't want kindaVim here, right? That's kind of, so you can go to the menu and that you have, or you can go to the settings or like not working well on Ghosty. Okay, check, you have this, right? Like check what the wizard says, or you can directly disable it if you want. So every time now you'll be on Ghosty, is going to ignore it. But like, you go check what the wizard said, and then the wizard like gives you a description of is it accessible, blah blah blah, what you would prefer, what probably you would prefer doing and stuff. So in this case, it tells you like that yeah, like what you said, you have Neovim or something. Plus, you can even, if you use like the set O by, you can even have V motion on your command line. So you'd rather do this and then add ghosty to off. So you do this, and then it adds to off, and then it's going to ignore it from now on. But then, so that's one type of thing. But then you're going to have different type of macOS accessibility support by the apps. So in the case of mail, for example,
How did you bring up mail there?
Exactly, yeah. So I got it from
Alfred,
and I just move it here. Yeah. And then it tells you like, okay, you don't have to worry. kindaVim is gonna handle things like automatically. So yes, you can use kindaVim in mail normally.
I'm installing it today, man. I didn't know. I have wasted so much time writing emails with the, and I looked for an email that supported Vimotions, and there were some paid ones. I think I don't care, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay for that. But
but do you know that kindaVim is not on Linux? If you're thinking about switching to Linux, just so you know, it's only for macOS.
Well,
don't get used to it.
I'll have to convince you to move to Linux so you can bring it over there.
But okay, but like, so
what people tell you about Linux support? Do you get that feature a lot? That feature request, like when is it coming to Linux? Do you get that a lot?
I think I had it for both, for Linux and Windows, but not really. Not a lot, but some people have asked, and I'm like, this you can't pull this. I mean, yeah, as far as, because this is really using specific macOS APIs, so you would need to rewrite the whole thing. Yeah, and I definitely didn't build it.
Yeah, and each distro would be different depending on the window manager that you use in Linux. It would be different. So, okay, go on. I'm sorry. Hold on.
So there.
Hold on, before I forget. I use KJ as escape, right? So instead of typing escape, if I type KJ one after the other, that is my escape. Is that something you can configure in kindaVim? If not, it's fine.
So here you have, so you can use escape key, you can use a custom shortcut, or you can use a sequence.
God damn.
So in that case, like you see like JK. So if I and I press JK fast enough, then it enters. So in this case, it's like 60. Yeah, then you have, so you can choose your delay.
Makes sense.
And then you have like, somebody asked this, like, somebody said like they set up JK, but sometimes they press KJ. So like, if you have like this, bug, doesn't work? Huh. Okay, good to know.
So it works either way, right? KJ or JK.
Yeah, it would both of them. But okay, that's I'm ashamed now. Okay.
No, but it's good. Instant feedback, and we can see.
I mean, actually, it's I'm not sure. It's it's the dev version, maybe, but I don't think I've touched this. But yeah, it should be. Let me check if JK works. KG works also. So it's like a visual thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, that's an amazing feature. I guess, was that a feature request? Someone requested that, or what happened there?
No, that was like the official. I think it's official, right? To go into normal mode is escape, or like this shortcut that is like what this one. I think
that one.
It's kind of like the official mode, and like the JK thing is also like super famous. So no, that was I think that was part of kindaVim from the beginning.
Awesome.
Or if you were talking about the dyslexia, no, it's.
No, the KJ thing, because usually you don't get that, I use other tools, and it's just usually escape. And if you want to use KJ, you have to play some tricks, but this is awesome. I don't have to think about it. Now, I use a keyboard mapper in macOS, Kanata, which is pretty powerful, and I run scripts from keyboard shortcuts. Is it going to interfere with kindaVim? Do you know about any issues?
Yeah, you're gonna have to try, because so the next thing for kindaVim is like integration with karabiner-elements. But karabiner-elements, because it's like virtual keyboard driver, is always going to do the work before kindaVim. So it's like perfect. The one
Kanata. Yeah, I I used Karabiner for a long time, but now I'm in Kanata. Well, but Kanata uses Karabiner in the background. So
Oh, okay, so it's gonna work.
let's see.
So, and this is gonna be like because I mostly develop selfishly stuff for myself, right? So the keyboard stuff is like so hard that I decided when I studied, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick to like just US keyboard. And then after a while, I started trying to support kind of other layouts, and it's been not working that well. Like some keys would work, some didn't, like wouldn't work. But I took care of it in the past, like some months ago, and so now, let's say you switch to like French keyboard, right? You would sequence. No, thank you. Like now, for example, to go at the end of where is it? Yeah, so like you would press really the key that is on your French keyboard to do like so anyway, multi-layout keyboard is supported. The next big thing to support is like to remap keys. So people want to have their like their vimrc config and stuff. They want to be able to do the same with kindaVim. And that was also like a big thing, except it's actually after like integrating it with Karabiner is much easier than at least for me. And I don't have to do like all those tests. And for example, I can show you, I did one like this one. So just let me enable it. So first of all, if you're, okay, let me try to write something. Oh, that's a French keyboard. Wait, let me get rid of this. Okay. So if you're, A to 1, so KV and no remap, that means if you're in kindaVim normal mode, A is going to be replaced by 1. So like I'm here, and I'm going to press A now, and it's A. Oh, it's not working. Let me check if it value true, and value if A to 1 basic, enable false. What? I thought that, okay. Still not working.
But it's fine. I'm highly familiar with Karabiner.
What?
I use Karabiner pretty extensively, so I can make it work. So it respects, it doesn't have conflicts with Karabiner, right? If I define a mapping in Karabiner, it's just gonna work with kindaVim. They don't interfere with each other.
They don't. Karabiner always takes precedence because it's like a really good stuff coming before anything else. Let me check. Yeah, okay. So that's because I'm on the master. Yeah, I'm still developing this, and I'm not on the good branch. Because what it does is like kindaVim is going to push variables to Karabiner. So do you know like the Vim variables? Like if you're in normal mode, if you're in visual mode, if you're in any of the visual or operator. So Vim is gonna kindaVim is gonna push variables here related to kindaVim's own status, and then you can do like complex modification, which are actually kind of simple. Like for example, in that case, you would say like if you're in and no remap, so normal mode. If it's true, then you change from A to 1. If you would want normal or visual or operator, that would be this one. If you want the visual, maybe it's like a V or it's an X, I forgot, something like this. So that's gonna bring like a lot of flexibility.
And why is it that you're integrating it with Karabiner? Like, what's the goal? Because I'm not using Karabiner anymore. I'm using Kanata, and I do all of my mappings in Kanata, right? So is there a reason behind this integration with Karabiner?
You mean with Karabiner over any other tool?
No, like, why do you use kindaVim and Karabiner? How does Karabiner help you?
Oh, so it's gonna be for like people who want, because like if I so like I told you before, I try to do my own remapping, so my own in-house kind of remapping for
Okay.
I started with Scrolla, and I got it kind of working only for changing from one key to one key. So you weren't even able to remap GG, for example. If you wanted GG to be a RR, you wasn't able to do this. You weren't able to do this. But everything was written, like the code was updated, and I still had to do the part to load from a config file, and it took me like months to do that work, test it and everything. But that would even be just for one key to one key.
Yeah.
Karabiner, that thing is being used by a lot of people. It's tested, it's very solid. And the more I started digging into it, the more it's just too crazy, the amount of work. Like if I at the end decided to do the key mapping, like remap it, like custom mapping myself, I would have ended up building another software to put this on top. Because I don't know if you use like Karabiner, you can remap. In that case, you're going to be able to remap according to kindaVim's mode, but also to what application you're on, and also which kind of software keyboard layout you're using, but also which keyboard hardware vendor and stuff you're using. Or like it's crazy the thing that you can do. And I heard like people complaining that like the config file is like kind of hard, but like the newest version of karabiner-elements, so it has this thing, right? It split the file in like different kind of separated JSON. So it's quite probably behind the scene. I didn't check, but probably behind the scene it's the same big JSON. But you have access to each little part, so it makes actually it quite easy to modify. And then there's like generators like Goku and karabiner TS and stuff that allow you to write stuff much. Exactly. Yeah. So this is gonna be like super exciting actually. Not for me again because I don't remap, but I know like a lot of people are asking for that. So
yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. You know, people just use Karabiner for remapping other stuff, and yeah. Otherwise, you will build Karabiner, and yeah, I don't think it makes much sense.
Yeah. There's and when people ask, like usually I've had this like many times, like people asking for this, and when I ask like, okay, what do you need at first, like one key to one key, or like or do you want to maybe remap like a key to a motion, like which one is it? And people don't really know. It's like I need custom remapping, but what kind? I don't know. So and honestly it's way too much work. Like I
just send them to my videos. I have videos about Karabiner, how to install it, how to set it up. Pretty advanced. If they're basic users, they're probably not gonna get it, but just send them to my videos and tell them, yep.
But you said like, so you have Karabiner installed or not at all?
Like I do have, because
Kanata.
Let me show you real quick. Let me switch to my screen. Can you see my screen there?
I can, yeah.
Okay, so it needs Karabiner in the background, because I think if I bring up the system settings, Kanata is just another way of specifying your configuration in Karabiner, right? But it uses the Karabiner virtual driver in the background. So if I come here to, no, where is it? General and plugin items, it needs to have this installed, right? The agent, daemons, and it also needs to have this virtual driver.
Yes. Yeah.
So it
and like in the keyboard, I think probably you have Karabiner
as a keyboard, selected. Yeah. So it uses that, but it's a much simpler configuration file, right? So if I show you my Karabiner file, you're gonna see right now that it's 4,000 lines, right? But I do have the TypeScript version as well, which is smaller. Mine is 1,000 lines, but Kanata is 200 lines. I do the exact same thing in 200 lines of mappings. So it's just not a different way of writing Karabiner configs, it's a tool on its own, but it uses Karabiner's virtual driver in the background. But it's way easier to configure.
But at the end, it doesn't create any JSON or anything. It doesn't create. Oh, okay.
You use a configuration file that you have to create, a Kanata configuration file, which is quite small. So I have Karabiner installed, but just because of the virtual driver. But the main tool that I use to remap everything at the moment is Kanata. That's where all of the action happens.
If you need the Karabiner driver and stuff, I guess it's still going to do the heavy lifting. So I guess it's going to be the same. Yeah, I guess it's going to work.
I'm gonna give it a try.
So it's not so. Kanata is not like Goku, right? It's not like you create your config and then you compile and then he puts this. Okay.
Karabiner.json. No,
I'll check.
It's not using the Karabiner JSON at all. It just uses the virtual driver that the Karabiner developers created, but it's a tool on its own.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's awesome. Give it a try. And well,
yeah, if it's using the Karabiner driver, so for sure this works before any other app. So for kindaVim, you do your remapping. For kindaVim, he sees like a 1. You press A, he sees a 1. He doesn't know anything. So that's perfect. Yeah. That one. So let me quickly variables. Yeah. So you have the variables here. So now
those are the variables that you send.
Yeah. So you see like the. So now we're in normal mode, and then we're gonna go to insert mode, and then normal mode again, and then visual. So like the variables reflect kindaVim's mode. So now I should be able to do that thing. If I'm disable, oh, please, is it gonna work? So if I press A, I press A and it becomes 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be super nice.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I still need the work is done, but it needs to be tested. Probably in a few weeks, it's gonna be released.
Okay, excellent. Now you wanna give us a demo on what other features are there in kindaVim? Is there something else that I need to know when I install it? Like, should I be aware of something else?
Yeah, so I think I need to tell you a little bit more about those, like the families. The rest, it's fine. Like the visual, you can like play around. There's this that I'm not using, which may highlight like the input you're in. Right, so you would like you saw, you would make the current input come out. Personally, I don't use this. Then this you saw. I think the biggest part is the family, because this is what I was telling you before. Like the different apps have different support of the macOS accessibility framework, and so kindaVim has to make some magic behind the scenes for it to work. And you're gonna have different experiences, depending on different apps. So for example, like here, let's say you just install kindaVim and you're trying, and then you're in Safari, for example. And then let me go here. Let's say you're here, and then you type something, blah blah blah. Oops. You're here, you type something, and then you move around and you want to delete this. It doesn't delete, it just selects. So like, okay, there's a problem here. Okay, not working well, check the results, and then you have the blah, blah, blah. So basically you have, in a perfect world, all the apps are native and then they give you proper data. So native apps, usually they work. Browsers are another story because they're somehow restricted or something. So you can't fully use, you can use the macOS accessibility to read data, but not to change it. So you have to, that's what it tells you here. And you have to tell kindaVim, okay, this app, so is going to like which family. So I don't really know how to explain more, because it, I mean, how to explain quickly, because depending on whether you have data or not, the how kindaVim is going to translate this is going to be different. If you're in a system, so like Xcode, right, that you have the data, you can read them and you can write them, then you have the full kindaVim that is 100%, like the moves are 100% like Vim. But if you're in a place, like in an app that doesn't have data, like the AX data, what kindaVim does is that is remapping keys for you. So some moves are gonna work and some are not gonna work.
Okay.
So that's why you have like the family thing. Now there's different families. There's like the called PGR, which is like restricted, Electron, and then key mapping and 911. And like you can see, like there's some explanation on what it does and blah blah blah. So PGR is it's kind of apps where you can read data but you cannot write.
Okay.
So when that happens, you come here, you see like, oh, Safari, okay, add to PGR. Safari goes into your PGR, and now you can move around, and now you can use like kindaVim fully.
Okay. So it's gonna detect. You already have some conditions. If the app is this, and you're gonna show it to the user, use PGR or use this other family, right?
Yes. And the thing is like, so there was some questions before about like why this is not done automatically. Like if you know that Safari might work is like a PGR kind of family, like why don't you do it automatically, right? And the thing is like, as you saw with Safari, the thing is like sometimes it's going to depend on your needs because there's some apps where some fields are working and some are not working, depending on how people. This is very common in like Electron apps. So depending on what you need yourself, you're going to choose, oh, you know what? Okay, I'll add to the PGR. Or like, no, I'll add to key mapping. It might depend on what kind of fields you use more often, or it's going to depend maybe on if you prefer like something more consistent than, let's say like, in some cases, but it should be rare, but maybe you're going to add to PGR, and in some field you're going to be able to use like CIW, but in some others it's not going to work. So if that bothers you, you better switch to key mapping, where it's never going to work in that app. So it's going to depend on people's own preferences. That's one thing. And the second thing is like, unfortunately, because of all the different type of apps and stuff, people that use KV, they kind of need to know about like this like family, that family kind of thing. Different. So like next time maybe you use an app and you realize, oh, I can't delete in this app. It's probably because like I need to put that in that family.
Okay, makes sense. Good.
So because for example, like to do this, I can show you.
Hope you don't have any sensitive stuff there.
No. It's just all of those stuff are like testing. Now, okay, now it tells you to put in key mapping. And it is also, it's that part, unfortunately, we have to deal with this. But Electron apps are like kind of the worst because first, so kindaVim cannot do that automatically because Electron apps, they tell you, oh, I support like programmatically, they're telling you, I support the macOS accessibility framework. Here's the data, but the data is not correct. Is most of the time is not correct. But different apps, they have different versions of the Electron framework. The Electron framework have different versions of Chromium, and different versions of Chromium have different bugs. So you kind of always have. That's why I keep like this app catalog. I have to quite often test the apps and see like what works, what doesn't work. And because still for Electron, they tell you, we support the macOS accessibility. So kindaVim, if he picks on this, it just reads the data. It says like, oh, how many lines do I have here? Oh, I have 3 lines. Excellent. But actually there's only 1. So stuff start not working properly. So that's why you need to do that manually, basically. And first of all, in this case, you see like, so maybe you see the difference. There is no block cursor. So when there is no block cursor, that means like, you're in the keyboard strategy. So the accessibility strategy can read the data and you have 100% accurate. The keyboard strategy, some moves are very accurate, some are, you can't do them. So for example, if you want to go on at the beginning, right? The I, it works. The dollar, it works. B works. W works. But if you want to do CIW, actually it works here. Oh yeah, it does actually, because I can remap this in a CIW works because I can remap this with the keys. But DIW wouldn't. It works. What?
Yeah, but
Do we scheme mapping? Oh wait, it shouldn't.
So you cannot be too picky.
DAW. I'm sorry. Some DAW wouldn't work.
Oh, okay.
DIW would work.
Okay.
Because the A, you need to go pick up the space after that. You cannot do through properly through. Even I don't remember I can show you the docs. I don't remember exactly the moves, but they're described here. So like the accessibility strategy, those are all the moves that are supported and done 100%. I think I may need to change this because people might believe that means not supported, but it's not. You have like, if the moves is here, it's supported. Then you have a count. So for some, the count is not supported yet. And then there's the repeat also. For some moves, some are not supported yet. Quite a few actually. If people request, I would add them, but like a lot of them don't care.
Okay.
And that's the keyboard strategy. So like this is when you cannot read data. This is the moves that work.
Okay.
They're different, yeah.
Oh, okay. Depending on the family that you're on.
Exactly.
Excellent. Man, as long as I have W,
W works.
And delete and visual, I'm not gonna be too demanding and too crazy. Like, man, I need to have all of my Vim. No, I understand the limitations of macOS. So as long as the basic stuff works for me, I'm extremely happy. As long as visual mode, W, B to go back, D to delete. That's all I need. I don't need to go too crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna, like, first of all, even if you can't read, you can still select. I mean, if you can't read through the macOS accessibility, right, you can still select, delete, and like most of the basic stuff is gonna work.
Awesome. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Now, I had another question as well. I forgot it. So, yeah, let's continue. I should have wrote it down.
When you start using, you're gonna get it. It's a little bit hard to explain. The thing is, like, once you're gonna start using it, and then you're gonna see like, oh, okay, basically, like you think, oh, I want to go down, JK, it's gonna work.
Okay, excellent. Okay, that's awesome. So that's kindaVim. Is there anything else you want to show about kindaVim before we take a look at the other ones?
I think that's pretty okay.
How much is it? Let's talk money. Like, is it gonna...
So how much is it? Yes, again, business-wise is not a very good, like the gimmick basically was, so every day I would go out, get my coffee to do my research on this when I developed, right, the first 2 years. So the price is basically 1 coffee per month. So it's like 3.28 US a month.
Okay, so it's a monthly thing.
It's a month, and then so it was a month. It started as a month because it's also a personal thing. I like to, so I know, like, there was a big how do you call this, like a backlash,
pushback from the community.
Pushback. Like, there was
to the monthly thing.
There was a big pushback, especially like because when I started developing it and I found like, okay, I can do something with this. I posted on Reddit like a bunch of times, and I forgot if there was the price at the time. Maybe there was the idea of the price, and definitely big pushback.
Oh yeah, especially Reddit. Those
Yeah.
MFers are like
Uh,
crazy. Yeah,
but for me,
there's just
because
crazy people there, man.
but so I approach this from my own way, right? Which is, um, it happened many times. Like I'm a big spender on like I told you, on like apps made by individuals and stuff.
Mhm.
And many times I bought like an app, like lifetime license, and then like a year later they're like, oh, but now so you
The new
buy this
version.
blah blah
Yep.
blah, and now they're like, oh, version 2 rewritten from the ground up and stuff, and I'm like,
Yep. We know how
like
it
how
is.
the fuck, like this is not really my problem, right? So for me, I prefer like paying a monthly, like I prefer paying first like monthly, uh to make sure I have the thing that works, that does what I want it to do. Like it removes my friction if I pay like a fee every month to make my day-to-day use of macOS better. That's
Mhm.
great. And the second thing is like monthly, I can just drop, like if I find a better app, I drop and I switch app. So I like this freedom of, yeah, as long as it makes my day better, I'm ready to pay. And the app is like updated, probably hopefully behind the scene, like new APIs. They make, like I always have like the latest version of the app.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. One thing that was kind of surprising is that people kept asking for a yearly license, which was kind of weird to me.
Mhm.
So I ended up having a yearly license or so, which is honestly is kind of the same price. It's not even cheaper.
Okay.
But people, for whatever, it's like a couple of cents cheaper. I didn't I didn't want to do a discount because it's actually more. It's even so. I'm just so lazy with those stuff because for me, like also the monthly fee, I like people pay monthly. I don't expect any people asking for refund, but if I do like a yearly stuff, it might be much more. Um, I'm gonna have to deal with bureaucratic, like people after 3 months, they're like, yeah, actually I want a refund and stuff. I didn't want to deal with this. But people who've been using the app for a long time, it's like, yeah, I'd rather get a year license because it's easier to fill my taxes. That's that for the accountant is easier. Like,
Mm.
okay, so I ended up doing this. But the more or less is about 3.28 a month, and 0.28 is because in where I live, 2.8 is like lucky numbers, so that's the reason for the price.
Hey, and can you get the app through Brew or just through the App Store?
You can have through Homebrew. Oh no,
Yeah,
App Store you cannot. Yeah, Homebrew you
Homebrew.
can,
Okay, awesome.
or like download from the site.
Okay, and
It makes no sense business wise, I tell you, because I work daily on this. I work daily on the three apps, and people like big users, they would tell me like they they can pay like 10 or 20 US a month. They just don't want that app to disappear. So it's, but I think I said from the beginning, the price is going to be one coffee a month, and that's it. Like it's not going
awesome.
to increase, or at least as long as Paddle doesn't increase their fees and stuff. I want this. I'd rather have like a lot of people, because again, I'm not trying to make millions out of this. If
Mhm.
if this can pay for themselves, perfect. But I'd rather make less money and have a lot of people like having fun. I have my stuff out there, rather than yeah.
One question. I talked to the Trickster developer. Have you heard about Trickster?
No.
It's a wonderful app for macOS. It allows you to move files. I edit videos and manage files a lot, so I need to move them from one place to the other. So it's an awesome app. I use it all the day. And he talked about setup. He added Trickster to setup. Have you thought about setup
Oh,
or not at
yeah.
all?
I did. I contacted them, and they've refused like both apps. Yeah.
They refused them?
Yeah. They say like it's not what they're. For Wooshy, I was a bit surprised, but they were like, yeah.
They don't know what they're
Uh,
talking about. Because I pay for setup and I would love to see the app there.
yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
Because they have quite some good apps, but this one should definitely be in there. Maybe it's too advanced for them. Maybe they don't get it.
I think kindaVim is quite narrow, it's very niche. So maybe they don't get it. And I think it's also like kindaVim is never gonna be finished per se, right? There's always, like you saw, there's always new, if somebody's asking new Vim motions, or like there's some are like missing the count and blah blah blah. And so maybe it doesn't feel it is polished, but in there it's kind of ongoing
Work. Yeah.
work. Yeah. So but Wooshy, yeah, I was surprised, but yeah, I think that they tell me like yeah, we considered, and like, yeah, we don't feel it fits like the setup, maybe try again next year.
Man,
So,
that doesn't make any sense at all. Is there a way to send them feedback or something? Yeah, they
maybe
do have.
after they see this video, maybe, or maybe they ban me.
Permanently. Man, I use setup all the time. I always talk about setup in my videos. They don't sponsor me at all. They should sponsor me. No, this definitely should be in there. They're not gonna add it anyway, but okay, good to know. Now,
Yeah. I would honestly, I really don't like dealing with the licensing and money things. Is very very boring to me. So but I mean, if he was going on setup, I would still need to probably handle both cases.
Both
but like
cases.
the best would have been the App Store. I would not care. Like, just take it, take the money. I don't care. Deal with all those crappy stuff. It's very very boring to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's one of the apps. Everybody know how it works and all that stuff. Can we quickly go over the other apps that you have?
Yes. So I'm gonna tell you quickly how the other apps came to be, because so I was working on this kindaVim, right, and then it came to a point that I was like I was able to use it like all the time, every day, but kindaVim would work once you're already on the UI element. So, or like here you're in a text area, or let's say like, or like if you have to go on the menu first and then open it and then it works. So the second thing was like, wait, I don't want to go click somewhere to start being able to use kindaVim, right? I want still through the keyboard to say like, okay, go there, go here and there. And this is how Wooshy came out to be. So Wooshy is that thing that you're gonna see is gonna show some purple stuff or pink stuff all over. And you see that little bar here?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's Wooshy.
How do you go to the bartender? I think that's bartender, the 3 dots, right?
Yes.
How do you go there?
So you would like bartender.
Oh, you type the app name.
Extra. So yeah. So there was an app that was doing this before called Vmac. If I pronounce this properly. So there was an app that was doing this before, but it was like putting labels.
Oh yeah.
And for me, I like to type
Homerow, the yellow labels. Yep.
Yeah. So it used to be Vmac, done by this guy from Singapore, like Dexter, and then so me working on kindaVim, so the macOS accessibility for a while. So Vmac was open source, and then I kind of used it for a while, but I didn't like the labels, and then it was kind of slow. And then I saw from the source that with the experience I had with kindaVim, I saw that, okay, there's a faster way to do this. So I started building Wooshy. And in my case, so I had I have this ask frequently also to add labels, but I'm not doing it because like that's not how my brain works. Basically, I like to so if I see new issue, my brain is like in my head. I hear like new issue, so I want to type something. I don't want to do labels. Like to have a labels that tells me to AC, that I kind of have to look and AC and type AC. It just doesn't work.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes you where you want by typing. Okay, I use another tool for that. And I did have the problem that I couldn't click on menu bar items with that tool the tool is Homerow. So I installed another tool. I don't know if you've heard about Mouseless.
No.
Shows you a grid on the entire screen.
Oh, wait, I have so maybe let me check if because in all of my apps I have the last section is alternatives, yeah. And so I have some Mouseless. No, I think Scout is doing the same thing that you were talking about. Okay, Mouseless, I'll check.
Let me show you. If I bring it up here, I type L. That's the power of Kanata. If I type L for 200 milliseconds, it's not gonna send an L, but it's gonna send another action. It's gonna send another key, right? So if I just type L for a little bit long, this grid is gonna show up, and I can click wherever I want. So if I wanna click where, like the dark reader thing, right? I would type K, then W, and then it shows even a smaller grid, right? And here I would type L, for example, and it's just gonna click there on dark reader. That's what I've been using.
The label.
Yeah, it's labels.
The label thing.
But it covers the entire screen, right? So it moves your mouse and clicks there. So I don't have to be searching for labels. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends. It depends how the brain thing. I think is very, for me, like the label, it kind of adds some friction.
It's faster.
And I like.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
Typing
I like
is faster for you, right?
think.
Searching.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so that is Wooshy, the one that does that, searches throughout your entire screen.
And then you can, there's more stuff that it integrates with kindaVim also. So let's say like let's say links, you're looking for links, there's a lot. And then you can start with a kindaVim like JK, or go to the last one, the first one, or go to, I think, Control D, go to the middle one. There's a bunch. Then you can, like, if you don't know what you need to search, like you were saying bartender, right? So if you type any of those stuff, it's going to go there.
Okay.
Bartender 5, blah, 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 blah. Then there's a couple of options.
But the app needs to be visible on the screen, right? Because if it's one that is hidden under bartender, it's not going to be able to click it.
Sorry, the app needs to be.
It needs to be visible on the screen, like.
Yeah. It's so you can decide the scope of what you want to look for. Like but it's visible, so it's going to be all the menu bar on the left, the menu bar on the right, the notification when they show up, the dock, the traffic light buttons, and the frontmost window. So whatever, like let's say even if you have so first of all here, it's only gonna get Safari, is not gonna get Xcode that is behind. So it's only the frontmost window.
Okay, makes sense.
Then you get a little bit, I don't know, like I did that for fun, but people seem to be liking it. So like you can decide how you want it to look. And then you have, so that was like me having fun when I was designing the stuff at the beginning. I like you do like, it looks like spotlights, it looks like Alfred. This one is invisible. I mean, like you get just the text. But for whatever reason, some people told me, I use this over Homerow because it's customizable, which is funny. Colors, you can, like macOS, if you want to change the colors, or you can even choose like your own, like whatever color you want to. You prefer like orange, and then you have like some customers, colors. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can also copy that one. Also is don't flush, or you can keep the previous. I'm just showing you quickly you can not move the mouse. It's kind of replacing the mouse where it was before. Don't flush the input. That means if like, I'm looking for issues. Okay, and I open again, is back to where it was.
Oh, makes sense. Okay.
Clean the thing. And the copy, that is quite nice actually, that one. So for example, if I go to the issues here, I can copy the text or I can copy the link.
Oh,
So
directly
or you
there.
copy what it shows on the screen, or you copy the metadata, and it depends. It copies links, it copies some other stuff depending on what you're dealing with.
If it's an image, can it copy the image?
Good questions. I'm not sure.
And how much is Wooshy? Is it another coffee?
It's the same. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. So 2 coffees there. You eat.
There's yeah. That's why I can't sleep.
That's a lot of coffee.
There's 3 apps. The last one is free. That one is. Those 2 ones are like. So kindaVim is like I told you. kindaVim is going to sleep between 5 and 1. 5 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you use it the afternoon, is like if you're a late sleeper or late sleeper, then if you don't use it in the morning, it's free basically.
Okay.
Wooshy sometimes, so like you could use it for free, but sometimes it's gonna get tired like randomly, and like it's gonna be like with the which smiley is it? Like kind of this one. It's gonna be I want a coffee. I'm tired and stuff like this.
Okay.
Kind of whiny.
Okay. And what about the other? Scrolla is the next app, right?
Yeah. And so the other one was the last problem, especially when I was working on this, going to the issue. So, and especially in browsers, like, okay, I want to click somewhere, but actually it's down the page. So I needed something to scroll. So this is where Scrolla is coming. So you scroll with the keyboard.
Okay.
So this is what's happening now. So same with J to go down, K to go up, GG to go to the top, uppercase G to go to the bottom, and then you have a couple of like faster one, Control D or like D, U, Control U, like all Vim moves. Then you have like kind of manual mode because it's not the same. It's going to detect. If I show you, let's say, I'm gonna need more. Yes. So it's gonna detect where. Oh, and like let's open this. Okay. So it's gonna detect several scrollable area, right? So you can choose which one. Also works with kindaVim. You can start kindaVim and use JK to go to the next thing.
Focus. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's going to detect, but for example, in Electron app don't tell you, oh, this is a scroll area. So how do you do? Well, you can do like manually. Like if I press C like 1, 2, 3, I think I need to make it more clear, like the icon to make it more clear because I don't think you can see clearly here. So I have this on my to-do list already. But like if you press 1, it goes somewhere in the top left corner. If you press 9, it goes somewhere in the bottom right corner. And then like 2, so like you can move your cursor around and then you can apply scrolling move, like even if Scrolla doesn't detect it. Because basically, right, if I start it here, it's going to detect and it's going to move your cursor in the middle right away. But if you cannot detect, then it doesn't move your cursor. So then you can do it manually.
Okay.
So yeah, so you can basically scroll anywhere.
Okay, and that comes for free. There's no additional coffee that I need to purchase for
that,
right?
No. That one is no coffee, no water, nothing. It's for free.
Okay, awesome, man. kindaVim, you'll get me there for sure. kindaVim, especially when I need to interact with macOS apps. I'm gonna switch to our screen right now. Is there anything you wanna show before we go back to the main screen?
No, I think that's. I mean, like there's the sides. So for each side, so I don't know if you're gonna show. Can show this quickly. So like this is kindaVim, Wooshy, and so those are like the landing pages. Right. So there's some videos you can see how it works. People can see how it works. Blah blah blah. For each of the sides, there's a doc, or at least before I show the docs, there's the GitHub pages. So this is where you're gonna you can report issues, you can ask stuff. There's also like the releases, like when I make a release, I'm gonna.
But this is not open
create a
source,
release, yeah.
right? Of
This
course
is
not.
No.
Would it make sense?
It was for a while. kindaVim was open source for like a few months.
Okay.
It was not at the beginning, in the middle, for like some more reason, and I stopped because of kind of abuse. Because I wasn't doing any open source support, so people could get a license or they could build the thing themselves, and I like bombarded with people who like basically didn't want to pay. I mean, I don't want to tell the whole story, but by nature, for me, I would answer people. If somebody asked me, like they would ask me, "Hey, I have a problem with and I would like, sorry, I send a link to the GitHub saying like I don't do open source support, and they're like, oh yeah, but and then I would send a link to the alternatives, and most of the time at the end is like, yeah, but I want to use kindaVim, is better.
Yeah, I know how the community is, man. I know it is tough.
Get a license. I mean, like,
Yeah.
So, and ignoring the messages, I would not feel good about it. So I closed back the source, and then now I can ignore. Now I feel okay ignoring.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a bit of blah blah on each of the things, and on the GitHub repository, and then there's docs for all of them.
Okay. Awesome.
So you can see how it works and stuff, and yes, and this is okay for now. I'm going to, after I release the thing with the custom mapping, I'm gonna focus back on it's not my favorite part, but like the landing pages and then icons that I'm gonna have to redo for macOS 26, and then the docs. I'm going to spend more time on this.
Awesome. And what about the config via file? Is that coming sometime soon or not at all? Is that at the bottom of your priority list? Because power users want that, and kindaVim users, I guess most of them are power users and they want their config in a file. Is that coming? Don't worry about the symlinks.
No.
We will. We will do that ourselves.
That's a very, very low priority.
Oh man, bad news.
Sorry. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm not proud of it, but I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely the next thing is the really next thing is going to switch keyboard layout automatically when you enter or kindaVim or Wooshy or Scrolla. After that is going to be the custom mapping. After that is going to be the landing page, the docs, the icons. And after this, probably, or maybe at the same time, it's going to be make sure that everything works on macOS 26 and drop macOS 13. Probably after that is going to update all the code to Swift 6.2, and only after that I will review the to-dos.
Okay, that's a lot of work.
No config file for Christmas, sorry.
Okay, it's fine. But you have it there in your mind. If the videos that we create here become popular and you get a lot of copies, you can think about it.
I mean, it has to be some config files for family. There's a huge like next to do and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it depends also on what people request, and for sure that influences the thing. But the config is a big work for sure, and yeah, it's big work. It's not something I personally use. So I'm not saying no, but like currently it's not a priority.
Now, you're a single developer here, right? What happens if something happens to you? So kindaVim is gone, right? Because you're the only one that knows about this. What? So we're out of support. Let's say that we don't hear about G anymore one day. kindaVim. What's the plan there? Have you thought about that?
Such a good question. Yes, but maybe can you share my screen?
I can switch to it.
Oh no, it's okay if you. I just want to put us back on my big screen. So yeah, exactly. That's much better for me to talk to you like this. Yes. So so I told you I have a local client right in Macau, and the way it happened is a guy from Canada. Actually, it is his client, and he found my work, my open source, because I was doing. So those free apps are like closed source paid, but I've been doing like open source work for like a long time, and he found my work online, and he kind of connected me with that local company because they wanted someone local. And this guy is this Canadian guy is now like a good friend, and he's like open source advocate, blah 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 blah, blah advocate.
Yep.
Anyway, like open source guy, and he has access to the repositories. And the day I disappear, he open sourced the whole stuff. Yeah, so this is already put in place. But now that you're talking about it, I have to
be safe.
I mean, he's alive now, but like, yeah, okay. If something happens to him, then I need another. But the idea is once it's if something happens to me, this is just like all the stuff licenses gets canceled, and then the stuff is open source. Yeah.
Oh,
because the point is yeah, of course I thought about this. The point is again, it's not the I mean, I definitely don't like if I do open source, and a big reason why I was doing a lot of open source before is just for my own fun, and open source is not just because I believe in this and I don't believe in closed source and paid stuff, and no, it's just because open source I have zero responsibility. Like somebody's like, hey, this is not working, well, here's the source, learn and then make the change or make a PR or blah 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 blah. So I want this feature again, like build it yourself. But when it comes to at least kindaVim and Wooshy and stuff, I take a big part of responsibility, to make sure like stuff work, listen to customers, talking with them and stuff. So it's not like I want to make millions, but like if they could like pay for themselves, it would be great for sure. And then at the end, again, it's not if I'm not there, fuck it. Of course this is gonna be like open for everyone. Have fun. Like see. I'm sure, if it gets open source, I'm sure I'll have a lot of comments on Reddit. Oh, this code is so shit. This guy.
But it works. Who cares?
Exactly.
Or maybe selling it to another company, right? Because there's company that buys tools. Have you received any offers?
Yeah, but I don't want to do that at all. No.
Oh, why?
Because we see that too often. Like you have a good app, you love it, and then it's being bought by a company, and then that's it. And then you start having, ads, and you start having no. Those are like my stuff. As long as I'm here, and as long as I'm using them, and as long as that's also because for me the computer is not like I love computer. It's just like computers allow me to work from anywhere, to build stuff. I just buy the thing, and then the rest is just drinking coffees and learning things. And so as long as I use a computer, probably now you make me doubt, but it should be a Mac. So that means like I build those apps, and I'm gonna need those apps, and for as long as it's gonna be perpetual until death.
Awesome. Man,
that's the plan, at least. Yeah.
Okay. Was an awesome conversation. I enjoyed it. Really appreciate your time. I have to drop
Thank you.
A few minutes.
I hope I made sense.
Of course, definitely. Was awesome. I didn't know about kindaVim, and I'm going to definitely install it and send emails with Vimotions and navigate my browser and all that stuff. I'm going to leave the link for all of the apps in the video description. I'm going to edit this video and upload it, I don't know, a few days after. This version is going to stay for members, right? The unedited version is just going to stay here. Just remember about your license. Just remove it.
Yeah.
Because you showed it, right? So is there any final words before we end the call? Anything you want to say?
Well, no, it's a big thank you to you. That was it's very fun. And it's like a fun encounter. Just, the magic of the internet. And thanks for the work, like preparing and stuff. Yeah, muchas gracias.
Yeah.
Proper language, right? Okay.
Yeah, español. ¿Hablas
español.
español un poco? No.
Hablo un poco. No, it's long time ago. Now it's getting replaced by Portuguese because some people don't speak Portuguese here. So, and I know like I should never mix both of them. So like I'm gonna stop at them, which is gracias. But no, thanks. And then yeah, if people have questions, they can like I'm very reachable, so they can just like ask and stuff. They can insult is okay, but I would still answer probably even if it's and yeah, that's about it, I think.
All right, G. I have to drop.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Chris,
it, man.
Thank you.
Awesome tools.
Yes. Good luck with the work. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you again.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.